spent the last 20 years analyzing the global restaurant business from the inside out. I've studied the consumer habits and actions that feed this business every day. Innovation is found in places where few might look. It's where the real heartbeat of the restaurant business lies. Sometimes it's beneath the known Michelin stars or the glitz and the glamour of the posh addresses of the best restaurant districts in the business. I'm Paul Barron, and this is my show. And I'm in search of amazing food, stellar service, and that unforgettable experience. Welcome to Table 42. Status Kuo is one of those concepts that is kind of rising on our top 25. The fun thing about concepts like this, though, is they're a little bit unknown and they're in these very unique little communities like here in Mar Vista with Status Kuo. Of course, Chef David is doing a great job introducing kind of a Taiwanese spin to what he's doing in terms of an entire menu, and also from a system that is a little bit unique, and that's being rotisserie. Rotisserie is kind of a unique aspect. When you look at a concept like what Status Kuo is doing, they're being able to take great proteins from local farms. Really sourcing is kind of a key thing here. It's going to be fun to see how he puts together a meal tonight for us. All right, so here we go with the menu. And you know, it's not one of those pretentious menus. This is really a straightforward salad, sandwiches, homemade pasta, dinner plates type menu. Really trying to use what he's doing in terms of rotisserie across his entire menu, which is kind of cool. Taiwanese Sunday Gravy. So you've got braised pork, pickled mustard greens, and kind of a ragu sauce that comes out. So this would be the one I think I would want to try. This looks really, really good. All right, thank you. All right, so as you can see, Taiwanese Sunday Gravy. This is a very interesting dish because it's really using kind of this whole approach of sustainable farming, doing all of what we're seeing that are really around the country, and that is integrating these great ingredients, trying to balance it out with something that is more of a comfort food style, which is really kind of one of the trends that we continue to see on Table 42. And really, I think it's one of those things that I think we're gonna see as a staple in the industry going forward. So we're gonna try this dish tonight. He's using his own bacon and sustainable pork from a local farmer. He's getting all of his greens and vegetables also just right down the street. It's gonna be fun to kind of taste what he's got. Those are great. Great job right here at Status Kuo. Kind of tell us a little bit about, how you got going with Status Kuo.
I've been trying to open a restaurant for a couple of years now, and another location in Culver City didn't work out. And I almost gave up, but I looked at this area because it was up and coming. There's a farmer's market. Everybody from Abercrombie is kind of moving over. There's a large population of families and homes right up on this hill over here. And I think it's like a kind of like a culinary dead zone. Between Abercrombie, Culver City, and Sawtell, there's not too many restaurants, and there's a lot of families in need of like good food, that it's healthy.
Yeah. So you've kind of really taken a need here and worked in what we're seeing in terms of these mega trends that are kind of shifting these older communities into these boom towns that, like Mar Vista. Because what we're seeing in terms of the consumers, your guests, that really are starting to share your message, mainly on menu, all your sentiment. People really love this product that you're making.
From the beginning, my wife has done the social media campaign, and like we always are cognizant of what we're doing. We try to make it like familiar yet a little different, and I thought that a rotisserie shop would be really helpful in this area because there's a lot of families that are on the go and people don't want to cook at home. I'm just speaking in Spanish. Today I'm going to show you how to make Sunday gravy. So we have 3 cuts of pork here. This is ground pork. We're going to brown all the meat like it's the bolognese. Now we have ground meat and cubed meat and house-made smoked bacon. So we don't season the meat until the end because there's a marinade or like a seasoning that has fish sauce, soy sauce, sambal, hoisin, 5-spice, Chinese cooking wine. So it's very flavorful and it's going to stew for about an hour and a half. So the next step is we're going to saute some shallots and garlic and sweat them down with the meat. Kind of combine all the flavors and get all those aromatics in there. Also saute with some kombu and some shiitake mushrooms. This really adds more umami flavor. So now that we've browned everything and sauteed everything, we put in one pot. So here's that Asian seasoning with all the good stuff. We soak the shiitake mushrooms in hot water to soften them up and chop them up. And this is the reserve liquid. This adds a lot of flavor. Instead of using like stock, we use this stuff. And then we're gonna let this simmer for about an hour and a half and it should be ready. And that's how you make Taiwanese Sunday gravy.
Would you kind of go to a new startup chef and say, hey, this is the way you want to go? Or would you say, hey, let's go a little bigger box? Or what would be your
my idea was to have everything I need. Since I'm like the owner and the chef, I basically got every piece of equipment that I ever wanted. There's like a CVAP, there's like the biggest rotisserie that would fit in this area. We could do whole animals, pigs, lambs, goats. And so basically it was like a dream kitchen for me.
You've got an urban farm here that you guys use in terms of your sourcing. Do you feel like that's almost a necessity in being able to grow a business like this in today's day and age of
Well, I
restaurants?
think for me, I just want to eat really good food, and that doesn't just mean flavor. It means where it comes from and where it's grown. I mean, it's kind of like everyone says farm to table now,
Right.
but it actually does matter. If you taste the chicken, like we use Mary's, antibiotic-free, hormone-free, free-range chicken, everything free. It tastes way better than the commercial stuff.
So talk a little bit about the Taiwanese Sunday gravy that you've got going. You know, what was the process there of developing that dish?
I came up with the recipe a while back, and I didn't know what to call it. And like, my initial thought was it's like a play on Italian-American Sunday gravy.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is like a whole bunch of Taiwanese people come in and say like, I never had Taiwanese Sunday gravy. Like, you're Taiwanese and you're making this, but we never had it. And then I laugh because it's just a play on words.
Well, you guys have been doing a great job, and the Sunday gravy was amazing. So thanks for letting us.
Yeah,
taste
thanks
that
for coming
last time.
down, and I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Absolutely.